In a world where hopium and common sense collide, starring the CryptoKeeper and BlockchainCrusader. Welcome to Debate Crypto. Welcome, crypto fam. I hope everyone is well. I apologize. I'm actually I was trying to set something up here on the.
No worry, guys.
There we go.
This is impromptu.
Yeah, so just actually jumping on live, guys, we're going to jump on to a couple topics here. I'm going to let Miguel tell you what that is, but we just want to jump on after Around the Blockchain, say hello, test out a couple little features that we're trying to work with through YouTube. And yeah, we figured we'd jump on and say hello. Guys, if you're on TikTok, make sure you come over to Debate Crypto on YouTube. Make sure you guys subscribe there, and we will be answering questions over there. And yeah, if you're already in the live chat, X out of live chat, smash up the likes. You guys know what to do. So Miguel, what is on the podium this evening?
On the podium tonight, we got SAND, the Metaverse, pumping 300%, right? Facebook has put a gigantic spotlight on metaverses, and they are pumping. And then right after that, we got the first U.S. politician ever to get paid in crypto.
It's
the Miami mayor. So let's get ready.
Let's go. So let's start off with the let's start off with the Miami mayor. Miguel, I was starting to share my screen.
Oh.
Why don't you, because I don't have that one pulled up, why don't you share that?
Well, hold on.
Unless did you send it to me?
I think I did.
Okay,
but
hold on a second.
I'm not sure.
Let me see. Oh, I got it right here. Never mind. I got it. I'll do it. That's fine. So, all right. So the Miami mayor accepting.
Share the screen.
All right. So Miami mayor to become first U.S. politician to take 100% of paycheck in Bitcoin. Look at this dude, first of all, right? He's pointing. He's like, oh, you already know, right? That's what he's saying. He's like, you already know I'm into Bitcoin, right? So it says the mayor of Miami, Francis Suarez, is set to become the first United States politician to take home their paycheck in Bitcoin. The latest development comes after a Twitter exchange between the Bitcoin-friendly mayor and popular crypto proponent Anthony Pompliano. Pomp put up a tweet requesting a U.S. politician to take his bait and become the first in history of the nation to accept their paycheck in Bitcoin. Within less than 20 minutes after the post, Florida's mayor, Francis, accepted the offer. It says, I'm going to take the next paycheck 100% in Bitcoin. Problem solved. Miguel, I'm not going to go too far into this article. What does this article say to you as you look at this? What does this story tell you?
So this is the obvious answer, right? We are seeing the Bitcoin mining transfer over to the United States. I think the United States holds over 35% now of the entire global mining hash for Bitcoin. We are seeing more and more politicians coming out bullish on Bitcoin. I believe we had Cynthia Loomis recently come out, and I think it was Randall Paul or something like that.
Raul Paul.
Yeah. No, not Raul Paul.
Oh.
The politician Randall or Rand Paul, something like that.
Okay.
That he came out saying that the Bitcoin standard should be added. Like that is the future, right?
Yeah.
Pegging the US dollar to Bitcoin. And this is what's happening. The stance on the United States is changing for Bitcoin because the politicians themselves are saying, wait a minute, we're not going to miss out on this ride just because we don't have regulations, right? We know what's happening with the dollar, and we know that this is the greatest transfer of wealth happening. I'm going to take the risk. Even if they see it as a risk, they say, I'm willing to take X amount of payments in Bitcoin just so that I know at least I have some Bitcoin secured forever. And, just let it run.
I mean, literally, Miguel. I think that when we hear stories like this, I think for me, it says this is the real deal, right? Listen, now over the years, you that we've been in this, you always hear the same type of narratives. It's good, it's bad. They're gonna ban it. It's going to zero. You hear everything from it's going to the freaking sun, right? Past the moon to the sun, to it's going to zero.
Yeah.
And so I think that there cannot be this many delusional people, right? The reality is Bitcoin is the quote, this is probably an interesting way of putting this, but gold standard at this point. We
Yeah.
are in a digital revolution. This is the new revolution. And if you haven't realized it yet, everything you do is digital as it is. Literally freaking everything. So why would listen, our dollars aren't backed by gold, right? So why would we continue to why would we believe that our archaic banking system will never change? It has
Yeah.
changed over the years and changed and changed and changed. And that, guess what? Now we are to the point where it is literally going 100% digital. I love that the mayor is supporting this. He does have his own, kind of reasons for this too. He is pushing his city to become, Bitcoin city or
Yeah.
whatever, crypto city, right? That is bullish for him. He knows that there's going to be a lot of people that are going to take to that. It
He's
sets
got
him
my vote.
apart. Yeah, I mean, exactly, right? It sets him apart from other people and it says, you know what? This guy is forward thinking. You don't
Yes.
have to like the cryptocurrency market, but what you do have to do at this point is respect it. When people jump
Yes.
in to my live streams and start saying cryptocurrency is a pyramid scheme, it's a scam. Really, it's a $2.75 trillion scam at this point. So
Yeah.
some of the most intelligent, brightest minds in the world are involved in this scam. No, the only scam that you can come up with is that's the reason that you come up with and tell yourself at night before you lay your head down on the pillow for the reason why you're not on board with it and why you're not making the insane money that myself and many others, including Miguel, have been making over these last 5 years.
Yeah, man.
So,
And I think it shows. I think it shows that younger politicians that are coming into the space are understanding what is happening in the future. They're adopting Bitcoin by individually themselves, and they're going to slowly, with time, as newer politicians jump in and filter out the older politicians, and they could leave
yep.
Congress, right? They will be adopting a more friendly stance towards Bitcoin and pushing for friendlier regulation, even maybe to that point of eventually being on a Bitcoin standard.
Yeah.
I mean, I just see it. I don't see that not being a discussion happening at least in the next 10 to 15 years. I'm not saying it's going to happen tomorrow, right? We have to wait for these older politicians to really come out, newer politicians to get on the trend. And eventually in the next 15, 20 years, they're going to be when Bitcoin, right? If Bitcoin's going to hit $1 million plus 2025 in the next 3 years, 15 years down the line, 20 years down the line, when the politicians start talking about, hey, this Bitcoin thing, we need to fix our dollar. And the only solution we got is Bitcoin. It's been around long enough. We understand it now. We trust it. It's done amazing. And boom, I think that even if it doesn't happen, the discussion will happen.
Yeah, I think the discussion's probably already been happening, but we know that the banks who control ultimately what really happens are the ones that are fighting against this tooth and nail, right? The biggest problem that we have in our political system is the lack of term limits on some levels, right? Because the reality is a lot of these people should not, and I don't listen, there's a lot of incredibly intelligent older people, right? But a lot of these people have no business, right? Not just Brandon, but there's a lot of other people, right, that have no business in the position that they're in, right? And so some of that needs to change. And the fiscal policy that that we look at and we see happening needs to change. And I think a big part of that change will be younger individuals, not just because of their age, but just because of what they were raised with, how they, understand and perceive technology. They're going to be the ones that are going to do that. So super bullish on it.
Yeah, 100%, dude.
Let's talk about, speaking of the future and being bullish on things moving forward, let's talk about the metaverse. Sand, which for those of you that don't know, it's the sandbox, shoots 300% past $3. It's past $3 as NFT gaming firm Sandbox secures major investment. NFT gaming platforms continue to be one of the most trending topics in the crypto landscape. On Monday, November 1st, Hong Kong-based NFT gaming platform secured a fresh $93 million funding led by giants like SoftBank. The Sandbox gaming platform allows users to build a virtual world like Facebook's Metaverse using non-fungible tokens, NFTs. This is a classic blend catering to the future of virtual digital gaming and the use of digital assets like NFTs. The Sandbox gaming platform is based on the Ethereum blockchain, allowing players to entirely build, own, and monetize their gaming experience. Sandbox also provides tools to players to create assets on the platform and allow creators with ownership to their NFTs. Miguel, build, own, monetize. I want to hear what you think about those three things, because those three things are what this digital revolution is going to be all about. Build, own, monetize. Talk on it.
Yeah. So right, Facebook announcing its rebrand on to Meta has put a huge spotlight on these metaverses, and that's why we're seeing these pumps, right? And now we're seeing these metaverses that have already existed saying, "Wait a minute, we need to light the candle under our booty to get the show running, because if they don't outperform Facebook, Facebook will eat them. Facebook will consume them."
Unfortunately.
So yes, so they need to build, right? And the fact that the what was your question? It was build, monetize, and what?
It's so build, own, and monetize.
Yes. So companies are going to be building on these metaverses, right? We have The Walking Dead in Sandbox. They own a lot of land in Sandbox. What's Walking Dead? They're a huge franchise. They're going to be making movies. They have a gigantic TV show. They have merchandise. They're going to pull in people. Other companies are going to come in. We have Chipotle. They have maybe not in Sand, but they have a digital store in the metaverse, in one of the metaverses, and they allow people to come in and get discounts, get coupons that they can then use in the real physical store. So we're going to see a lot of companies building on these metaverses, especially now that Facebook has put the spotlight on it. Facebook works with tons of businesses. What business is not on Facebook, is not advertising on Facebook? Facebook being in the metaverse is putting the attention to all these businesses. Wait a minute, how can I get more advertising dollars? Right? I don't need to just be with Facebook's metaverse. I can be on this metaverse. I can be on this metaverse. Oh wait, I can own land. I can put my own store, my own business on the digital land. Or wait a minute, I can just own the land, lease it to somebody else, and make them use it, and they're paying me passive profits of being on the metaverse. All right. So companies are going to be building on the metaverse. Individual people are going to be creating companies in the metaverse one way or another, through either mining resources, building guilds. They're going to be using the metaverse for business purposes. So that is all going to lead to obviously a lot of monetization, and the fact that you own it. You own it. People don't understand that. I just made a TikTok about metaverses, and I included Sand in it. It's been going kind of viral on TikTok, and a lot of people said, a few people, not a lot, a few people were saying, "Wait a minute, why would I buy digital land? That's fake land. I'll stay with real land." I'm like, wait a minute, my friend. It's the next frontier. We're running out of land in real life. Digital space is where it's at. We're in a digital age. Everything is going digital. If you don't own digital land, at some point in the future, you're going to be like you are right now, owning no land. Absolutely nothing. Digital space land ownership is going to be huge. Don't miss out. Do not sleep on the metaverse and owning land there.
100%. That's hashtag facts, right? You know, when people ask the question, and I understand why they ask it, but when they ask the question, like, wait a minute, digital land, that sounds ridiculous. Now, on its face, it does. It sounds ridiculous. It's like, what are you even talking about? But everything is moving digital. I've talked about this a number of times before, but the reality is, when you pull up the app for your bank account right now, right, your archaic banking system, and you look down and you see, the dollars and cents in your account, I promise you that you, along with everyone else, showing up at the bank at the same time to get that money out, not happening. They say that 3%, if 3% of the United States went to the banks at the same time and tried to withdraw all of their savings or checking account or whatever, it would literally cripple the economy. So what am I getting at? What I'm getting at is we live in a digital world already. Now we're just actually embracing the fact that, okay, it's here. Now, how can we actually take that next step forward? The crazy thing is that next step forward seems a little very Ready Player One, very futuristic, right? It is a wild type idea, but it is where we are headed. This is not tinfoil hat time. This is just where we're headed. If you have a company, hate them or love them, right? Love them or hate them, Facebook is a behemoth, right? And the fact that they are opening up this metaverse should tell you something. And let me tell you right now, you guys might not realize this, but right now, as we speak, Miguel and I could get into Decentraland and buy a casino table inside their casino, right? Actually own that table. And when people come in there and like, oh, I want to play a game of poker, I want to play a game of blackjack, whatever, and they sit down at our table and start playing, guess what? We own that in real life. Start putting that crypto in my wallet, son, right? It is actually, you are actually earning yield. You are earning money from that. And it's just a fact. It's where it's headed. It's
Yeah.
crazy. I know it's wild, but it is where we're at.
People still haven't had the chance to wrap their mind around digital ownership. It's gone way too fast, too quickly for them, and they don't
Yep.
understand that owning things digitally will be equivalent or superior than owning things physically. Because physically, most of the things of assets of value are already owned by elites, by rich people, right? We're seeing tons of corporations like BlackRock and a lot of other mega corporations buying up a boatload of real estate. Bill Gates owns the most farmland out of anyone in the United States. So where are you going to get farmland? Where are you going to get prime real estate? All these corporations and these mega elites are already purchasing it. We're
Yep.
already late to the game, right? Just how when the United States first started, and the United States was the new world, and everybody came here to get a new start, to own land, to open a business and thrive because there was less competition. The metaverse is that next new world. It's that next frontier where if
Yep.
you get in early enough and you look for the opportunities will be there to create either generational wealth, complete new business opportunities that can change your life. Understand this, guys. Do not sleep on this thinking that it's not real. It
Yeah.
is real, and it's only going to get realer with time as the metaverse consumes more and more market share. The metaverse is 100% the next step of evolution in social media. Right
Yep.
now, we're stuck with our phones in front of our faces, watching TikToks, watching YouTube, being on Facebook, being on Instagram, being on Snapchat. But that is not enough. That is
Yep.
only 2D. We're going to go 3D. We're going to go 4D. We're going to feel experiences
Yeah.
inside the metaverse. That is the next step of an evolution of social media. Everyone wonders, right? When before Facebook existed, it was MySpace. Oh, how could only if I would have pictured that coming, I would have invested into it, right? Only if I would have known that after Facebook, we would have had Instagram. After Instagram, we would have had Twitter. After whatever we would have TikTok. The next step is the metaverse. I'm telling you now, you're ahead of the game right now listening to this show. The
Yep.
metaverse is the next step in social media.
I thought, Miguel, I heard Elon Musk say something recently, and I'm going to quote him, and I'm going to probably butcher this a little bit. But essentially, what he said was that our education system is flawed. We should not be operating by grades. We should be operating at the fastest pace that you are able to actually accelerate, right? And here's the kicker. This is what I'm getting at. Learning should be as close to being like a video game as possible. You do not have to ask your kids to play video games, right?
Yep.
And so if we can make learning like a video game, right? Think about it. You play your favorite video game, you buy a skin. If you're able to manipulate your player, what does everyone want to do? They want to make their own character, right? When you play The Sims, do most people make some wild looking person, or do they make the person look as much like them as possible? Tiger Woods, right?
Yeah.
The golf game. When I make my character, what did I do? I made it look like me. And when we step up to play, what were we doing? My dad steps up to the tee box and I make fun of what he looks like because he messed up a feature or this, that, or the third, right? If only it could look just like me. Oh, I love what it looks like, but man, I wish I could give him a bigger, more full beard or this, that, or the third, right? And so what I'm getting at is we've always strived for this idea of being in the video game, right?
Yep.
Now, if we can correctly harness the power that's in front of us, if we can actually take it, manipulate it, make money on it while not taking it too freaking far, right? I think the opportunity in front of us is absolutely freaking massive. It's not going anywhere. And guys, again, like Miguel said, if you guys are on this show right now, if you are listening to Debate Crypto, if you are part of the DCA family, debatecrypto.academy, right? We are in this bear market. Guess what we're doing? A whole bunch of play to earn gaming, right? As a guild, as a group, as a family, right? You see it below, debatecrypto.academy, right? And we are going to be learning and accelerating through topics like the metaverse, because the reality is it's what's next. And there's nothing else that need be said. It is what's next. We're going to be a part of it. We're going to ride the wave and we're going to make money in the process. That's it.
Yeah, 100%. Right. And I want to make it official. We're talking about the metaverse. We're talking about being in the digital space. We will take this podcast, this show, into the metaverse,
Into the
and we will
metaverse.
be
Yep.
streaming from within the metaverse.
Yep.
You guys will see us as digital avatars socializing and streaming this show from within the metaverse.
Miguel let the cat out of the bag. We actually have full-on plans for this. We are
Yes.
actively working this up right now. So you heard it here first. Miguel let the cat out of the bag. We are going to be streaming our avatars in the metaverse. We are figuring out some technical things right now as to what makes sense, how it makes sense. As you know, are we going to be sitting in some wild place, or are we going to be sitting in my living room or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But the facts are, it's where it's headed, and we want to be on the cutting edge. I mean, Miguel and I both want to be on that leading edge. We want to lead the charge. I don't want to be following from behind. Think about it this way. You all watch us for cryptocurrency expertise, if you will, right?
Yep.
It's because why? Because we got in before most of you and have benefited from that. So why don't you come along for the ride with us, and we can all benefit at the same time on this metaverse wave? That's what I throw out there.
Yeah.
I challenge you, debatecrypto.academy, if you guys are looking to be a part of a team that is going to be on top of the game as it relates to the metaverse.
Yeah, 100%. And we have Juggernaut here saying all the crap coins, right, will be dust. All the pumping with old school 2D games, they won't make it. Metaverse will take over. Yes,
Yep.
the metaverse will take over. The metaverse will consume social media, people's interactions, how they deal with each other, how they do experiences, right? Instead of going to the movie theater, we know that movie theater is already dying out. What are you going to do? You're going to put your headset on. You're going to hang out with your friends. You're going to tell them, hey, come over to my digital house. You're going to have a pimped out house, right, with a big old screen. You guys are going to sit down, play the movie on there, because you can do that already, and
Yep.
start watching a movie that you just downloaded or you just paid to get digital rights
Yep.
for, to stream it. And you
Yep.
don't even have to go to the movie theater anymore. From the comfort of your home, you're hanging out with your friends, you're watching a movie, you're having experiences, and experiences will get more and more real with time.
And it's a headset now, but I'm gonna stretch this out in the next 10 years. By 2030, 9 years, it's a headset now. It's going to be contacts by then. And so, guys, this is
Contacts. We're gonna go past contacts, bro.
Well, listen, I'm trying to give us some leverage here, like a little bit of room, right? Listen, there is a thought, and I forget what it's called, but basically we overestimate what we can do in a short period of time, but we underestimate what we can do in a larger period of time. There is a word for that. There's like a
saying,
it's like it's kind of like saying like,
metaphor,
what's that?
kind of like a metaphor for
It's
it.
kind of like when you say, if something bad can happen, it will. Like it's like a law, like Newton's
Yeah,
law or whatever the case may be. It's something. It's one of those, and that's what it says. It says we
yeah.
underestimate the long term and we overestimate the short term.
Like people are going to be using goggles, right? Those headsets to have these virtual reality experiences. People are going to be walking around. The next evolution of your phone is to have AR glasses, right? Sunglasses, walking around outside with your glasses on, getting augmented digital information
Yep.
about people, watching them wearing their digital clothes, digital NFTs. They already exist.
Who is
Digital
that
NFT
person? How many
clothes
followers do they
NFTs.
have? All of it.
Yes, yes. You're going to be seeing all of that. You're going to be seeing them wearing their digital swag on, which already exists. We're going to be seeing that. And what's the next step after that? We know Elon Musk is already working on Neuralink, which is putting wires into a monkey's brain.
I won't be a part of that, by the way. I will not be a part of that.
Right? I understand, but it's barbaric right now. But if you've seen Black Mirror, you see where it leads to, right? It becomes a tiny little thing that you put in the back of your head, in the back of your ear, and you have a little widget over here that you can activate it, and you can see all kinds of stuff. You have every single memory you ever do completely to your access because it's recorded. You're going to be having all kinds of experiences, all kinds of digital memory. Dude, it is going to get wild in the next 20 years. Yes. It's going to get, look how far phones have come in 20 years, how far the internet has come in 20 years. Imagine how far this Neuralink thing is going to go in another 20 years. Virtual space, metaverses, augmented reality in the next 20 years. It is going to be bananas. We can't even imagine, we can't visualize right now what that would look like. We're only scraping the surface of what could actually be right now in this conversation.
Crypto fam, that gives me a little bit of anxiety because of my biblical beliefs. But so Crypto fam, check it out. If you are in the live chat, please make sure that you X out and smash up the likes. That's been one of the things we've been getting a lot more and more engagement as we've gotten more and more followers and as the channel's been able to grow. But the likes just kind of lag, right? So I guess we're asking you to help us grow, and you can help us grow by liking, commenting. Obviously, TikTok. If you're not subscribed to Debate Crypto on YouTube, make sure you guys subscribe there. Guys, we appreciate every single person in here. We really, really do. If nobody's told you before today, we love you and we care about you. And we hope you guys have a wonderfully blessed night. And until next time, guys, hodl like it's